ones I don't want the cops to see. And the cops are investigating this, so it's kind of becoming a standard where NCASE can look to see if they're password protected and let them know right there. So I think this is an interesting standard. I think it's going to get kind of checked here pretty soon to see if they're planning on sticking with that or if they're going to force things to change a little bit. Revoking consent I talked about a little bit earlier. That was Andrzejczyk. Again, this is the aspect where he was driving all over town with them, and they gave them the comment, well, if you are going to revoke consent, we're going to go get the search warrant. And the court held, hey, this is not a threat. It's just a fact of life. Get used to it. So, oops, well, the copyright. Ziegler's a search. This is a great case. That's what I'm going to actually probably end with this one. We're not going to talk about the Viacom Google copyright case, although I will say everything that Viacom has alleged in their complaint is the exact same thing that happened in the Grokster case. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I think it'll settle before it goes to court. They were trying to settle before they went into court. So my guess would be that's the direction it's going to go. Ziegler, the left, makes the comment, and when I say left, I say that's the defense attorneys, the rights, the prosecutors. I'm not saying where you want to stand. The left has this case as it's a panic. There's a rash of cases with no reasonable expectation of privacy in your workplace. You're going to be subject to arbitrary, capricious searches. The right says, hey, they got it right. The employee has a reasonable expectation, but the employer who owns the machine can consent to its search. The reason this is such a great case is because the CFO is the one that consented to the cops for the search of the machine. The defendant was not liked in the company. And so a suspicious tip was given to the cops that he had child porn, I think it was, on the machine. So you've got a suspicious tip, defendant's not liked, and the CFO gives permission for them to image and search the machine. The CEO does not like this law enforcement agency that's involved. You know, discretion says I shouldn't mention it, FBI. And basically absolutely hates them. Never would have consented to the search for this, for the aspect of it. That's why this is such a great case. Because back to my actual and apparent authority, who has the authority in a corporation, in a business, to consent to the search of it? You have the CFO, that's apparent to the cops. That seems pretty high up, and the judge bought it saying, yeah, apparent authority, he apparently looks like he's got it. Totality of the circumstances, you can look at it. So it's an interesting case. Again, the facts make the case because you've got the CEO who never would have consented, and that's why you've got the people debating the aspects of reasonable expectation of workplace searches. Very quickly mentioned Viacom's lawsuit going on there. They have mentioned all the right words in their case. Brazen disregard for that. The fact that they copy the material into their own software. They're directly making a profit on this. YouTube's coming back, or Google's coming back, again, claiming the aspect that we're just the publishers. We actually do remove infringing materials. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. It does seem like it falls squarely on the Supreme Court's decision of Grokster, and it looks the same, and they are making a huge profit. The difference, Grokster also said that they had the smoking gun. Grokster, point blank, was going after Napster's clients. They actually had emails saying, Napster's falling down, we've got to quickly move to get these customer base. You don't have that in YouTube from what I see so far, because I don't know anyone falling down. Again, I suspect this will settle prior to actually going to the court on that, so we'll have to keep up to speed on that. And finally, since I'm right at 11 o'clock or 2 o'clock according to Eastern Standard Time, D-orders were basically the government going to get your emails on stuff that was in storage for more than, I think it was 180 days. And the reason Smilin' Bob's up there is the company. If you know what Smilin' Bob does, it's a herbal company that helps with certain personal problems. The actual real person is Steve Warchuk. Now, he got them. They got an injunction. So to get your emails, there's certain standards that are not what they used to be. One of them is to give you notice that they're going to get your emails from that aspect. The case is still moving forward in the criminal aspect. His co-conspirators actually pled guilty, which I believe was his sister, is married to another guy in the company. They pled guilty, so it's be interesting to see how that goes. It's 11 o'clock. You're supposed to go on break until 11:15. So enjoy yourself, the conference. I am around. Any questions, please feel free to come up and ask.